Welcome to Coull Discussions.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, well,
we're going to talk a little bit of
for
YouTube over a year now.
And, you know, I listen to other people a lot more now than I ever used to. They're, the staple of people that you listen to. And then they talk about things, how YouTube does it, and how you're trying to make a living doing this, and patronage and stuff like that. And when I first did it, nobody ever talked about it. Now, all of a sudden, everybody talks about it. And
I think when I watch videos now, I notice the editing more.
Yeah.
I notice the cuts in the videos, and I notice where they stop, and you're like, oh, they made a mistake there.
You
made a mistake there.
Edits sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like, when we started this show, we decided that we weren't going to make edits like that. We weren't going to cut stuff out.
Some days I wish we could, though.
Some days.
And some days it's like, oh, really?
We
get
decided
rid of that brain fart.
We decided to come to you raw.
Yep.
With all the brain farts and with all those, and the reason from me is because I wanted to give it raw and.
Yeah.
See?
Ding, ding, ding,
there
right
you go.
There.
A lot of people would cut that out.
Why we want to give it raw?
Because
sometimes you have unintended consequences, which could be good and could be bad. And in
that's
some
real
cases,
world.
They get rid of. We get rid of ads because of it.
That's the real world. Is when you speak, you don't get to edit stuff. You don't get to go back and.
If you look like an idiot, you are considered an idiot from then on.
I wonder if a lot of these people who are up there, and big on the YouTube would be as big if they didn't have the ability to edit out. If they just threw it out there raw, how different would it be? Would we be more successful if we edited and we're more meticulous about, we're an opinion show. We're not news. I'm not
even close.
I'm not a journalist. I read the news. I get the news the same way you guys do from all the mainstream media. Now I dig a little bit more.
Yeah. There's a lot of digging involved. I honestly wish I was able to do this full time because I would love to be able to do a lot more digging in a lot of instances to be able to come out with the little thing right here in the middle and go
right here,
facts
right here,
right here, right here. And spend hours editing, but
because we both have full-time jobs, we go to work 7, 8 in the morning, work till 3, 4 in the afternoon, and then we do this on the weekends. We do this in our spare time. This is a hobby right now for us.
This is a hobby for us.
We spend a few hours on the weekend.
It's okay. Some of these people that we watch doing this, you could tell that there's a lot of effort and energy put into this.
Well, they're able to cross-check and reference, and
I love that ability on some of these people, and then some of them, you see these hard edits, and it's just like, well, what did you just do?
What did you cut out there?
I
would love to see what's on the cutting room floor.
Yeah,
I'd like to go behind the scenes. We do. Obviously, you notice we're behind on some of the news because we only film once a week. Well,
some of the other YouTubers that we deal with, they only do like one out of a week, unless something big comes up, and then they come out with a reaction video to it. And it's one of those things of, do some of these things work? Do some of these things not work? And some of the people, this one it's a non-political one. I've been watching this tabletop miniature game channel, and I've been watching them for 6 months now. All of a sudden, I just slipped in and found somebody else. And I watched them, and I'm like, wow, this is so much way better. And yeah, they do.
What makes them
both
better?
Both of them do the hard edits.
Yeah.
They really do. But one of them does it, and it's just like it comes across as a drone, and there's no unless you are like 100% up to date on rules, you get lost with them. And these other ones, the only thing I have against them so far is like because their voices were so similar, you couldn't distinguish between who and who, right? Because it's just like who was doing what to who for how many peanuts. But I started watching some of their other ones just to get an idea of this is how they
the
do it.
suggestion bar is great. When you watch a video on YouTube and you see like the suggestion, that's where I get most of my videos from. I'm like, ooh,
the one that that pops up. Okay,
no, like the
bar, on the sidebar. Okay,
when it's like things you may like or something like that. And you're click. And I end up going through like 15 videos on the one channel. I'm like, sweet.
Oh, that's how I've stumbled across some other ones, and it's just like, oh, that was actually Sargon of Akkad. He was a suggestion. I was like, fine, I'll click on him because he keeps popping up, and I was just like, okay, fine. If I click on him, will you go away?
It's definitely doing this has given me a newfound respect for the people who do it full time.
Oh yeah,
because it is a full time job.
It is
trying to put together videos and stuff like that. It's not the hardest thing in the world.
No,
like, our ability to edit videos, we could do it.
Yeah,
we could cut videos, cut stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I said, we want to give it raw, and we want to give 15 minutes on a subject. See, that's one thing that changed. We used to go from just 2 hours or whatever, and talk about try to trend. Now we go 15-minute videos because we found that I don't want to watch an hour video. Who wants to watch an hour video? Not many people on YouTube want to watch an hour video.
That's one thing I've noticed is some people go anywhere up to an hour. And they don't they touch about a lot of subjects, and if they cut it, it doesn't come across as the same as if you're watching it from beginning to end. Whereas we have noticed that we tried to keep it when we first started. It was like keep it to an hour show. 3 20-minute subjects now,
and it would lead to like an hour and a half, and we're like, what the fuck?
And we get a little off topic, and we end up, and then it's fine.
We still do that.
That's
what happens in a conversation when you're sitting around the dinner table. You're sitting around with your friends. You just talk, and you're just like, oh, and then you go from the sky is blue to the ocean is green, and you're like, how did you get there? Or the velociraptors are cool dinosaurs, and that's the vibe we wanted to give off of just a casual conversation, not too heavily edited, not too
but we did want to make sure that we told as much of a truth as we could possibly do
the truth as we see it,
or as we could find it. Anyways,
and it's hard to find things. You'll notice
sometimes. Like stats,
when you go on to Stats Canada, it's like you can't find anything. It's
nothing
the worst website ever. You would figure for a government who's supposed to be the leaders of our world, it's so bad. All their websites are.
I gotta admit that last year when we were talking about gun violence, looking into gun violence, you could not find a scrap of information on it unless you were actually a member of the police force.
Yeah,
because you could go to the Calgary Police Service. And it's like, here's the stats for 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, well, how come I can't get my stats up to date right away? You know what I mean? Or you'd find the most up to date I think you could find on any criminal was like a year. You know what I mean? And it's like, holy crap, how come I can't find something for right?
Why am I not able to figure out? You keep records, right? You should be able to go at least
a month.
The first month of January for that year.
A couple months,
they gave you 2 years ago, and it was very annoying trying to find things about stat tracking, just anything. How much money the government takes in from taxes. When we talked about Colorado and legalization, it took a lot of digging, and I mean a lot of unnecessarily difficult digging to find information. And
this is going to come. Obviously, what we're talking about comes across as, well, you guys are lazy and you're not putting in the effort, and it's like, hold on, step back here for a second. Information should be easily accessible when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to anything that's like taxes, crime, anything that's with government, should be easily accessible for the common person. And that's the thing that I think that we're finding is that it's not. It's not
It's
as
not as
easily,
easy as it should be.
It's not as easy to find how much money the government spends on roads as it is to find monkey sex on the computer. You know what I mean? And it should be easier to find how much money is going to a road than it is to find a monkey sex.
You know, because one of the things I wanted to find out was, okay, our Prime Minister said he was going to spend a lot of money on infrastructure. And if you read the papers, you find that he's not. And it's like, well, is it because the paper is biased?
Our media is very biased. 100%.
Our media is biased. I will fully admit that. But going into it, you can't find really anything. It's like, oh, they spent this much money.
And when you do find something, it's in such gibberish that a common person will...
Legalese.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to... A common person cannot understand it. You would need somebody to decipher all the definitions and all that. And it's like...
Yeah, and I'm sorry to admit, it's like, yes, you have to... There are certain aspects of... being educated, being able to know some of these things. I get this, but guess what? Most of the people that you deal with are not highly educated.
When you have to, when I've said this before, and I learned, I heard it from somebody. And when you're speaking, you have to speak to be understood. Not, and I find a lot of people try to speak to sound intelligent and sound important.
There are certain applications of words that fit into a situation way better than dumbing it down. But, when Trump speaks, he's speaking to...
He dumbs it down in a sense. Let's be honest here. He dumbs it down enough for the common person to understand.
Yeah, because I find most of the time when a politician speaks,
they
use a lot of big words.
When Rachel Notley speaks,
anything.
You go, huh?
Is she belittling me?
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to look a couple words up at the
hold on, I gotta get my thesaurus.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, why didn't she just say this?
Yeah.
Because it means exactly the same thing.
And everybody knows what it means. Now, like we said, we've been doing this for over a year now. Has your view changed on anything?
I don't know. Have you changed my mind on anything?
I'm not saying have I changed my mind.
No,
I'm saying looking into, like, when we go on a topic, have you changed your view on your stance on anything?
Maybe for the Conservative Party, the federal one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to be the same type of party that it was under Stephen Harper.
I don't think it will either. Yeah.
With what's going on with the leadership, I'm not. I don't know how well it's going to be a Conservative Party, because I think conservatism on a federal level can't survive because of the glorious hair of Trudeau. The millennials are honestly coming across as voting because he has star power and not because of his policies. And
I think that's the way the world is, though. It's not, for me, have I changed my views? I have a little bit. I realize that I used to be very hardcore about no government, we should just fucking free for all. And I've come to realize that you do need some sort of like rule. You can't just have like little, we own this part of it because we live here, so we all live in this area. No, that's not going to work. You have to have some, but I still believe that government should be small, like very, very small. But
unfortunately, I don't agree with government as much as I used to. So I want to move away from government, but not.
I think the world is more viral than it's ever been. Mm-hmm. And you are right. Justin Trudeau I think he's in because of how he looks. He's not in because of what he wants to do or who he is. It's the way he looks, because that's what's focused on when you talk about our Prime Minister. Oh, look at Throwback Thursday to his pictures. Look how great he looked. and look at how he looks and look at his name and look at what he is, you know, and it's like,
nobody's focusing on what he said he was going to do, which is important. And, when we had the last election, the NDP came across as being a conservative branch of government. And then Trudeau's like, we just spend money. Look at me.
yeah.
And it's just like, now that he's in government, he doesn't know necessarily where he's going. It's like, oh, we have a deficit. Who cares? Oh, we have another deficit. Who cares?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're going to help the middle class. Yet the tax break that he made doesn't help anybody who's making $50,000 a year. It helps the people that are making $200,000 a year. And that's not the middle class.
I think, I think YouTube is a great resource and a great tool in the world, along with social media. I think it's a great tool. I think social media is great. But I think we don't... Do we use it for good? Yes, of course there are. But it's not celebrated enough. You know what I mean? It's not... When you look at the videos that are the most viewed, they don't... Like, these videos don't do anything to make the world a better place. When you look at the top viewed videos on YouTube, go look at it.
Just trending.
Trending. You look at them and go, they're people doing stupid shit. When I watch videos of people like eating shit and then puking it, and I'm going, what? I kind of wonder.
I don't think my view on YouTube has changed in that regards. I just, unfortunately, because I'm part of one of the cogs in the YouTube machine now, my partaking in the cogness of YouTube stuff is, unfortunately, the ad comes up.
I watched the ad. I'm not so quick to hit that skip ad button anymore.
Because it's like, well, if I want people to watch my ads, I kind of need to watch other people watch their ads. So, yeah, I partake in it.
The hardest thing, it for me, I'm frustrated because we don't have a lot of people watching.
Yeah.
Like, there's one or two people watching. Yeah. And, it's like, how do you get more views?
Maybe
the biggest question. Maybe that could be a good point. Maybe we just suck. Maybe, but nobody tells us we suck, so we keep spewing our fucking opinions.
Yep. So spew.
That's right. Opinion.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep doing it because it's a part-time hobby for us.
That's right. Gets us out of the house. No, it doesn't get us out of the house. So we're still in the house.
Well, it gets you out of the house.
Gets me out of the house.
But it
lets me spew and vent. If I have something I want to vent about, I just vent to this, and nobody hears.
For that matter, we've watched quite a few movies that I don't think we would normally watch if we were
maybe not. Yeah, who knows?
Well, the Siege of Jadikville, I would never have noticed it before.
The what?
Siege of Jadikville.
Oh yeah.
You would never have watched Assault on Arkham.
Nope. Yeah, I think it kind of makes me. It forces me to have to watch things that maybe I wouldn't have watched, and maybe I'll end up liking it. Maybe.
No. Very true.
I don't worry about the consequence of what I say on here, ever, because if you meet me in person, and we're having a conversation about any topic that we've talked about, I will tell you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I will talk about. We don't talk about sports on this show a lot.
No.
Because he doesn't watch enough sports to be able to carry a conversation, unfortunately. I'm sure we don't talk about some things that he would want to talk about more. Like comics or whatever. I don't know. Video games. Because I don't play a lot of video games. Because that would be a very one-sided conversation either way on those two topics. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know. We're ranting.
We're ranting.
No. You're blabbing.
Blabbing.
So, yeah. This is exactly what we do on YouTube.
That's right. And if you like it, we thank you. Hit that like button and join the conversation.
That guy in Great Britain. We have some guy watching us in Britain, and
we do.
Yeah, we check out the analytics of this show, and we noticed there was some guy watching it.
Wasn't that our podcast?
Both, actually. It was,
well,
a little bit of...
Hey, you, yes. Our one viewer, our two viewers.
Yeah, it could be two people, but we just noticed that we actually had an audience in Great Britain.
Comment.
So...
Engage. It's okay. We're friendly, we don't bite.
Well, you don't.
I have no idea what that meant. So, guys, see you.
Well, you said we don't bite. I bite.
See you later. I think you might have just lost our one viewer. Unless he likes biting. Okay, guys. Fuck. I'm out. We're out. This is not off the rails. Way off the rails.
Yeah.